Thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker. In the time available I have today, I wanted to cover two amendments within the Levelling and Generation Bill, both of which I originally tabled and one of which I'm incredibly grateful has been taken on by the Secretary of State. Firstly, on a technical amendment, a new clause 4, which is standing in my name. My constituency covers two local government areas, the City of Westminster and the City of London. Both are subject to the rules governing the participation of councillors in formal discussion or voting on matters where they have a pecuniary interest as per the Localism Act of 2011. The rules apply to Westminster and the City of London, but uniquely in the City there is an additional provision contained in what is now Section 618 of the Housing Act 1985, which bans councillors outright from discussing or voting on such matters. Contravening this ban constitutes a criminal offence. The history of these provisions has been examined by the city's officials, but their original reason why they're there remains unexplained. They have simply been repeated without comment in successive consolidations of housing legislation over the last 30 years. Now, you may ask why I am tabling this amendment and taking it forward. I do so because I believe, as I'm sure everyone in this place does, that local people should be represented at council decision-making meetings, such as planning committees, when an application is being heard about their ward. If there's an application in their ward, it should be heard. And as it stands, if there is a planning application that affects, say, the Barbican or the Golden Lanes estates in the city, a local councillor representing Aldersgate or Cripplegate but lives on one of the estates cannot speak at committee. To do so could lead to them being prosecuted. I think this is outdated and, in fact, outrageous. But by removing the punitive provisions in subsections 3 and 4 of the Housing Act 1985, my amendment corrects this anomaly and allows members of the Court of Common Council in the City of London to represent their residents like every other councillor in the country. This, Mr Deputy Speaker, is a matter of equality of treatment with which I'm sure my honourable friend the Minister will agree. Secondly, I wanted to touch on Government Amendment 1. The case for repealing the Vagrancy Act 1824 has already been made in this place during the Police, Crime, Sentencing and Courts Act 2022. From conversations I've had with both the Metropolitan Police and the City of London Police, I believe alternative powers to deal with aggressive begging are already available and are being used today, as you would expect. And we know we have these powers from the 2014 Antisocial Behaviour, Crime and Policing Act. So it should be no surprise, therefore, that Vagrancy Act arrests and prosecutions have plummeted since 2014. In practice, we haven't seen a sudden crime wave as a result of repealing the Vagrancy Act. But what we have seen, is a lot of lives extended and improved, which feels very much in keeping with the aims of the government and its levelling up agenda. We must support those on the street to turn their lives around, not to criminalise them. And I would like to thank my right honourable friend, the member for Surrey Heath, for the time he has given me to discuss this amendment. And I'm very, very grateful that the government has now accepted my arguments and taken on my amendment as its own. To conclude, Mr Deputy Speaker, I welcome this bill. It sets out to achieve a lot and I believe will benefit from amendments made here today. I look forward to seeing its progression in the other place and its final stages in due course.